Sorry.
no, it's fine because it's tough because I came off an injury.
Now, that was the segment of the show that had everybody, even myself and all of the other content creators, talking about it because we initially thought that Sophie Cunningham was actually lowballed. And in my eyes, I believe she was. She just was lowballed in a different way. Now, these are the donkeys that Sophie Cunningham is actually talking about, her dog and her donkey.
One for baby Kev.
Actually,
Actually, he's not a baby, he's full grown.
Watch her face closely. That shift from casual conversation to defensive explanation happens in real time. Sophie Cunningham just revealed something the Indiana Fever front office probably didn't want public, and it's not what everyone assumed. For the past 3 weeks, WNBA media has been running with one narrative: Sophie got lowballed on money. Coming off an ACL injury, the Fever supposedly gave her a bottom-tier contract, and she had no choice but to accept. That story made sense. It fit the pattern we've seen with injured players across the league, except it's completely wrong.
Sophie Cunningham definitely got time today because boy, oh boy, she just went off on the internet. Oh my God, Sophie Cunningham erupted about 30 minutes ago online with reports about her interview that she did on her podcast, Show Me Something. Now, we know that she talked about Raven Johnson, but most important, she talked about the situation that led to the Indiana Fever, some saying
30 minutes before this video was recorded, Sophie Cunningham went nuclear on social media. Yahoo Sports posted their interpretation of her podcast interview, suggesting she was unhappy about the money in her contract. Her response was immediate and fierce. "I'm going to shut this down right now. I'm not mad about the money. I just wanted more years because I love it here." That one tweet changes everything we thought we knew about this situation. Because if Sophie wasn't fighting for more money, what was she actually fighting for? And more importantly, why did the Fever refuse to give it to her?
I think,
Sorry.
no, it's fine because it's tough because I came off an injury and like I haven't been in front of any teams. Like I had a lot going on this off season. And I was fully cleared. They had all the doctors. They had the numbers and everything. But if you don't get in front of these people, then it's like, hey, like, are you actually good? And so that I'm not even gonna lie to you, that was like a little kind of frustrating because I'm someone who like I kind of shoot it straight where if I wasn't feeling good or like I was hesitant, I think I would have said something and like been honest because I'm just in the point in my career where I just want to win. Like I just want to win.
Dope.
And so
Dope.
I'm not going to put my ego and everything in front of things. And I know it is a business, but I think I'm just wired a little differently. I don't know. I just want to win. And so it was a little weird, but you know what? I think this is a great wake-up call to not get comfortable.
Here's the full context that got lost in the headlines. Sophie came off a major ACL injury sustained in Seattle. She was fully cleared by doctors, had all the medical documentation, all the numbers proving she was healthy. But she hadn't been in front of any teams for workouts. And in the WNBA, if executives can't see you move in person, medical clearance doesn't mean much. That's the injury discount everyone expected. Teams get nervous. They offer short deals with minimal guaranteed money. It happens to players across all sports coming back from major injuries. Sophie understood that part of the business. But notice what she says about the contract itself. It was a little kind of frustrating because I'm someone who shoots it straight. If I wasn't feeling good or was hesitant, I think I would have said something and been honest. She's not frustrated about the dollar amount. She's frustrated that the Fever didn't believe her when she said she was ready.
I think it kind of lit a fire under my ass even more. At the end of the day, like I'm coming back from a major, it was MCL. Like
Totally.
You know what I mean? And so, I feel good. I'm shooting the ball well. I'm mentally in a great spot. The Fever signed, we kind of have like a new roster. And so we have Monique Billings, who she is a very strong, physical, athletic rim runner, can grab every freaking offensive board, can dunk. So like, we'll take that.
Let's go.
Yeah, we signed Maisha Hines Allen, also a very physical, great player, more of a post player, 4-5. And then honestly.
And then comes the reveal that exposes what this was really about. Sophie wanted multiple years on her contract, not because she wanted more guaranteed money, because she wanted to buy a house in Indiana. She wanted to bring her dog and her donkey to Indianapolis permanently. Think about what that means. Sophie Cunningham, a veteran who's played in Phoenix and Seattle, who could have tested free agency next year when she's proven she's healthy, who could have kept her options open. She wanted to commit to Indiana long-term right now, before Caitlin Clark plays a single game, before the Fever prove they can win, before anyone knows if this roster construction actually works. That's not a player looking for the best payday. That's a player who believes she's found something special and wants to be part of building it.
We got some kind of good rookies. Like, it's exciting. I know a big name was Raven Johnson. She was with South Carolina. And sometimes for me, I'm just not really good at knowing, like, if people's game are, like, if it's going to translate well in the W, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's fascinating for all sports. Like,
yeah.
Some people are better in college. Some people are better professionally. And, like, you just don't know when. And I don't know if it's when you peak athletically or as much as it is just like being in different systems and
opportunity.
Like, I just like sometimes it works better in college and sometimes it works better professionally for people. It's like, it's a very fascinating, like,
kind of transition
layer.
The Fever said no. They gave her 1 year. Take it or leave it. Sophie's talking about buying a house, bringing her animals, planting roots in Indiana, and the front office responds with a 1-year prove-it deal. That's not injury protection. That's the organization telling a veteran who wants to commit that they're not ready to commit back. And you can hear it in her voice when she processes it on the podcast. I just want to win. I'm not going to put my ego in front of things. I know it is a business, but I just think I'm wired a little differently. She's trying to rationalize why a team would reject a player who wants to stay, who believes in the vision, who's willing to bet on them before they've proven anything.
To sports.
Yes. And some people, you get the green light right away and you just get to go and do your thing. I mean, Diana Taurasi, and so it took me like 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? So like sometimes it tests your character, your perseverance, it tests everything. Sport tests everything. But Raven Johnson is a freaking dog. We had our first day of training camp, and I just like love her. Like I think she's going to be fantastic, great defensive player, just a really sweet girl and a great teammate so far. So like I'm a big fan. Big fan.
When a rookie comes in, do you like when a rookie is outspoken and like a vocal leader, or do you kind of want that to be earned?
I just want people to be themselves. So I think when you come into a new team, especially like, you know, the jump from high school to college is completely different. College to pros is also completely different. And so as a rookie, depending on like kind of who you are and what you bring to the table, it's best to be a sponge.
Now she pivots to talking about the roster additions. Monique Billings, Damiris Dantas, the rookies. She's selling herself on the situation, convincing herself it's going to work out. And when she gets to Raven Johnson, the South Carolina rookie, you hear genuine excitement. Raven Johnson is a freaking dog. We had our first day of training camp, and I just love her. This is someone who's already emotionally invested in the team. She's already thinking about how the pieces fit, how the rookies are going to contribute, what this roster can become. She's doing the mental work of a player who plans to be there long term. But the Fever gave her 1 year, so either they're planning to re-sign her next offseason if she proves she's healthy, or they're keeping the roster spot flexible in case a better option becomes available. Either way, they're not matching her level of commitment.
But like if you're vocal, still be vocal, you know, but also I think it's best also to like stay in your lane, like do what you do best. And if that's like defense and freaking assist, then go all in on that. You know what I mean? Like don't be anything that you're not. And it's nerve-wracking as a rookie. Training camp is nerve-wracking, and our rookies have done really well. And so I think we have kind of like a unique group, but today was like actually very surprising. Like it's going to be good.
Like in a positive way.
Yeah. Like it's just like,
fuck yeah.
Yeah. Like,
listen to how she talks about the first day of training camp. Today was like actually very surprising. It's going to be good in a positive way. Yeah. Like fuck yeah. That's not manufactured enthusiasm for a podcast. That's a player who walked into practice, saw something that exceeded her expectations, and got genuinely excited about what this team could be. And she's locked into a 1-year deal that might be her only season there.
This is the post that Sophie Cunningham just tweeted out about 30 minutes ago. She said, I'm going to shut this down right now. I'm not mad about the money. I just wanted more years because I love it here. I wanted to get a house so I could bring my dog and donkey to Indiana with me. That's it. That's the truth. I think we have something very special here in Indiana. So with that being said, Sophie Cunningham basically said that she just wanted more years. It was never about the money, which means to tell me they ain't looking to stick with Sophie long term, which is very disrespectful by the Indiana Fever front office.
Here's what makes this situation particularly revealing about how the Indiana Fever are approaching this Caitlin Clark era. They're being aggressive in some areas and extremely conservative in others. They traded for Monique Billings, giving up assets to get a physical presence in the paint. They signed Damiris Dantas, adding a veteran who can stretch the floor. They're investing in pieces that complement Caitlin's game. But when a veteran wing who's played in big markets, who understands media pressure, who has playoff experience, who specifically wants to play alongside Caitlin Clark, when that player says, "I want to commit to you long-term right now," the Fever say, "We'll give you 1 year and see how it goes." That's not necessarily wrong. Front offices have to protect themselves. Sophie did tear her ACL. She hadn't played in months when they were negotiating. The medical risk was real. But it reveals their priorities. They're willing to bet on the roster construction working. They're not willing to bet on individual players being part of the long-term foundation beyond Caitlin. Everyone else has to prove it year by year. Sophie Cunningham wanted to be part of building something. The Fever wanted to see if she could still play first. That's the actual tension here. Not money, not a lowball offer. It's about a player ready to commit and an organization that wasn't ready to commit back. And now Sophie's in Indianapolis with her dog without her donkey on a 1-year deal, talking about how special this team could be while knowing she might not be there to see it reach its potential. She got the wake-up call she mentioned. Not to get comfortable, not to assume anything, to prove herself all over again. The question is whether the Fever made the right call. Because if Sophie balls out this season, if she becomes the veteran presence this young roster needs, if she's the kind of player who helps Caitlin Clark navigate her rookie year, then next offseason, she's going to have options. And she'll remember that when she wanted to commit to Indiana, they told her to wait. That's the risk the front office took. Not a financial risk, a relationship risk. They prioritized flexibility over loyalty. And in a league where veteran leadership matters, where players talk to each other about which organizations treat them right, where free agency decisions are influenced by who makes you feel valued, that calculation might cost them more than whatever they saved by keeping the contract short. So when Sophie tweets, "I just wanted more years because I love it here," believe her. That's not spin. That's not trying to save face. That's a player who found a situation she wanted to invest in, and the organization said, "Prove it first." Whether that ends up being smart business or a missed opportunity to lock in a key piece, we'll find out next offseason when Sophie has leverage and options and a full season of proof that she's back. The Fever will be competing with other teams then. Right now, they were competing with nobody, and they still chose the 1-year deal. That tells you everything about how they're building this roster. Everyone's on trial except Caitlin. Everyone has to earn their place every single year. And if you're a veteran who wants stability, who wants to buy a house and bring your donkey and build a life in Indiana, too bad. You get 1 year. Make it count.